and today we're gonna read Robbie Jefferson's Awesome Friendly Adventure story starting at 67 page. And now already for read this Mommy with a lot of stories. Now here we go. And first we should read Robbie Jefferson's Awesome Friendly Adventure story starting at 67 page, and we should end reading at chapter 6 starting page. Then the troll king said the pixels brag that they live in a harmony with nature, but they were really just a bunch of ponies who dumped their trash on someone else. Well, if there's a thing Roland didn't like, it was littering. So he marched back off the hill with some trolls to talk to the pixels. The pixels weren't happy to see trolls in their ancient village, and they weren't shy about showing it either. Roland told the pixels they had to stop dumping their trash in troll town because littering is wrong. But the pixels said the reason they dumped their trash into the troll town is to get back at the trolls who are always sneaking up the hill and eating them. And when Roland asked the troll king if this was true, he said yes, but trolls can't help eating pixels because they are so delicious. So Roland came up with an idea to make peace between the trolls and pixels. He said the trolls promised not to eat any more pixels. Then the pixels had to stop throwing their trash into Troll Town. The Troll King and the leader of the pixels thought that sounded fair, so they had a pinky swear to make it official. Then Roland taught everyone how to deal with trash properly, and there were finally the peace in the Triangle Forest. Greg said, "Oh, now is the idea time." Greg said he was glad there were finally some actual monsters in the book, but he wasn't crazy about recycling stuff. He said kids don't want books with messages in them these days, so I was probably gonna have to cut up that part. But I said I wanted to have a bunch of messages in the story, like say no to bullying and save the planet and believe in the magical of Christmas. But Greg said kids don't want a bunch of lessons, they want action. Greg said I should rewrite that last chapter, so it was a battle between the trolls and pixels, and then we could make it into an awesome video game. But my parents don't let me play violent video games, so I said maybe we could do something they approve of. Greg said, "Okay, forget about the trolls and pixels and let's talk about what monsters Greg and Roland were gonna face next." And he pulled a book off his shelf about an Asian mythology, and we looked through it together. Oh wow, it's quite scary looking monster, but if this monster getting into this book, then the kids will be so scary they were not gonna see the books. But some boy kids will gonna be interesting about it, maybe when they're 7 or 6 age. I told Greg we couldn't use any of the monsters in the book because that would be copying somebody else's ideas. But Greg said the people who came up with those monsters died a long time ago, so anyone can use them now. Then he told me there are a lot of other characters he have been around in a while, so we could use them too. So my next chapter is gonna have a bunch of monsters and other new characters in it. But I hope Greg's not pranking me on this one because I really don't want to get sued. Maybe we have still quite left time, so I should just the end of reading at 80 page. After Roland and Greg left the tangled forest, they headed east across the salt flats, and there were no one exciting happened there. So let's just fast forward to when they got to the mountains of the Razor Wrangle. The mountains were much too steep to climb, so Roland and Greg traveled north towards the Boulder Pass. But they didn't get far because there was a terrible thunderstorm and they had to find shelter. Luckily, there was a cave nearby and they went inside to wait out the storm. It was dark in the cave, so Roland lit the torch. And that's when he came face to face with a monitor. But if you're like, Roland is about to get eaten by the monitor. Well, guess what? You're wrong. It was just a statue of a monitor. When Roland's eyes adjusted to the torchlight, he could see that there were a bunch of other statues in the cave. Roland didn't recognize all the statues, but he did recognize a few of them, like Huckleberry Finn and the cowardly lion and Neverdoor, the god of thunder. Roland thought maybe this was the museum, then they shouldn't touch anything, but Greg was pretty eager to try out his new glove. The statues gave him a good excuse. Greg smash! Roland didn't really approve because it felt like littering, and you already know how that feels about from the last chapter. Greg was about to smash a statue of a guy holding a magnifying glass and a pipe, but all of a sudden the statue came to life. And that is when Roland realized it wasn't a statue at all. It was the legendary detective Sherlock Holmes. Roland asked Sherlock Holmes what he was doing in the cave, and Sherlock Holmes said he was trying to solve the mystery of why so many people was going missing in the Razor Range. And clues brought him here. Roland said that Sherlock Holmes had never solved the mystery, and he said, yeah, everyone who went missing got turned into statues by Medusa. Well, that was totally spooked out Roland, and he told Greg they should get out of there. But Sherlock Holmes said to stay perfectly still because Medusa was getting out of the shower right after that moment. So Roland, oh yes. So Roland and Greg and Sherlock Holmes acted like statues and closed their eyes right tight when Medusa was slithering by. But Greg must have got curious about but Greg must have curious because he picked right before Medusa went into her bedroom, and he got turned into her bedroom and what? Into her bedroom, and he turned into the statue. Oh wait. I've just read from 81 page, so we should start reading from 82 page for tomorrow. So now, from Greg's idea, there are more monsters in the story. How interesting. I love the monsters in the story. And now, let's see this monster story for tomorrow. And please come to my YouTube, and bye-bye, everyone.